Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the very first episode of a brand new series within the Chat with Chaps podcast called Chaps Reacts, which is where we react to something that's just happened in and around the den. And this is a very first episode that may even go out on the channel, actually. There's been so much going on that the show I had planned to launch the channel with may end up being the third or fourth, who knows. But this is Chaps reacting to the signing of Lukas Jensen. Millwall sign the Great Dane. So let's get into it. So we've literally just announced the signing of Lukas Bornhoft Jensen. He is a 25-year-old goalkeeper who we've signed from Lincoln City. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we know about him, my reaction to it. And this is just a short 5-minute video, and there'll be a series of these as we go throughout the season. So I think first and foremost, before we talk about Lukas, it's important to recognise that we were always going to be in the market for a goalkeeper, but it was highly unlikely we were going to be in the market for a number one until the tragic incident where Matty Sarkic was taken too early over the summer. And I think I just want to say first and foremost that respect and care and love goes out to his family and friends and loved ones. As a football club, we have to bring in a number one goalkeeper. And I'm sure that that's what anyone involved with Matty would want as well, for us to go on and have a successful season. And in order to do that, we need to bring in a number one goalkeeper. And I believe that's exactly what we've just done. So Lukas Jensen, Danish, 25 years old, 6'6". So he's a bit of a unit, and I'm going to give you a little bit of kind of where his career started. So he started in Denmark for his hometown. I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Helsingør, and he was there up until sort of 2019. A couple of Danish clubs, and then he moved over to Burnley, where he played only a handful of games, not many, before having some. I can only talk about the fact he didn't play many games, but some rather unsuccessful loan spells in the Football League with Bolton and Carlisle. And then I think he went back on loan somewhere in Europe, possibly Denmark again. I'm not going to try and pronounce that name. Then 2022, he went to Accrington Stanley on loan, played 29 times, and from anything I've read, seemed to do a fairly good job. But it wasn't until he signed permanently for Lincoln last summer and became their number one. And he actually played 45 times last season for Lincoln. And doing a bit of a check of just what people have been saying about him on various forums and social media, he does appear to be a very good goalkeeper. He certainly, the Lincoln fans seem to love him. The only constructive comment I've seen is that he can't kick, but let's be honest, we're used to those goalkeepers with Bart for a long time, and maybe playing out from the back is not as important anyway in a Neil Harris side. But all of the things I've read about him are positive, and I'm just going to back that up with a couple of stats that I'm going to share on screen now. So for those of you listening to on a podcast, I'll read this out. So Lukas Jensen made 45 appearances in League One last season. And bear in mind, this is a side that came very, very close to getting into the playoffs at the end. Also a side that had Alex Mitchell in the team. And he kept 19 clean sheets, which was first in the league. And he also had the highest save percentage at 78%. So statistically, you could say, based on that he is the best goalkeeper in League One last season. I think the other thing to back that up is he won Player of the Year at Lincoln, which in his debut season is no mean feat. So that's kind of the player that we're getting. Obviously, limited information. I can't claim to have ever watched him play, but based on what I've read, so I guess the qualitative and the quantitative stuff, he seems to be a very good goalkeeper. The fees is probably around, from what I'm hearing, around about the 500,000 mark, which plus add-ons, which for a number one goalkeeper or someone certainly that's going to come in and compete to be number one in the championship, I would imagine we will still sign another goalkeeper. No idea who that is at this stage. Isn't bad business, particularly at his age. So, how do I feel about that? What's my reaction to it? So, I think, look, ultimately, we knew we needed to bring in a goalkeeper. We knew we needed to, with the greatest respect to Connell Truman, he's never been a number one. So for him to all of a sudden become one, it seems to be a bit far fetched. So we knew we were going to bring in a goalkeeper, and this is someone that quite clearly was excellent last season. Has got a full season under their belt. Someone that we probably would have watched, I would imagine. Someone that Alex Mitchell may have also given a word on in terms of his thoughts on it. This goalkeeper was also heavily linked with Birmingham over the summer, but I'm quite pleased with this. It's signing someone from a lower league again, yes, but it's not stupid money. He's of a good age. He's had an excellent season, statistically the best goalkeeper in the league last year. And I would rather have that than some 35, 36-year-old journeyman, personally. And I'm just hoping now that he can become the great Dane and become an excellent goalkeeper for us as we move into next season. Like I say, it'd be interesting to see whether he comes straight in as the number one or whether we go and try and bring in another goalkeeper to compete with him. But I guess time will tell. But look, interesting times for Millwall. If you're listening to this, Macaulay Langstaff has already been announced. There could be one or two more that could be announced. I don't know what's going on. It's nice to have that kind of excitement, though, and for us to be looking at players coming in rather than lots of rumours of players going out. So, yes, good to get Lukas Jensen over the line, and certainly will be competing for that number one spot for next season. Please do give us a follow, give us a like, subscribe. You've got no idea, as this channel is starting out, the impact that has just for you to like, share, subscribe. The subscription bit is paramount. So thank you ever so much in advance, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, hopefully this was worth a listen. Millwall announced the signing of Lukas Jensen on a permanent deal from Lincoln City. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.